Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with reviews on The Batman Who Laughs, The Grim Knight #1, and Transformers #1. So starting off with The Grim Knight, the origin of the most dangerous Dark Knight of all. So this is kind of it's a one-shot. It does tie into the overall Batman Who Laughs series, but, honestly, you could not pick this up and it doesn't really touch upon the main story of the Batman Who Laughs. It's just this is just to explain the origins of the Grim Knight, another Batman from the Dark Multiverse. So having kidnapped Jim's vital to the Batman Who Laughs' plan, and so we go into the origins of the Grim Knight. So this is written by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. You have art by Eduardo Risso and coloring by Dave Stewart, and Jock did the cover for this one. And Delotto did the variant. The variant actually looks pretty good, and this one's not that bad either. So, as the story goes, as a child, Tom and Martha Wayne are killed in front of Bruce's eyes by Joe Chill. But in this instance, Bruce picked up the gun and killed Joe Chill, and this triggers his rise to becoming the Grim Knight, or similar to the main Batman. He trained to become he would later on become Batman, but it was never enough. As he says, but he knew it wasn't enough. He needed a way to kill evil, a weapon that would make him Gotham's own angel of death. He needed more than the guns, the knives, and the bullets, something larger than all of that and far more deadly. Then suddenly, he becomes the Bat. And this one, without no limits, uses weapons, will burn people to death that he views as evil. So, and in his world, a lot of the villains that Batman faces never come to be. So at least only 4 of them. So Cobblebot, Sionis, Black Mask, Killer Croc, and Red Hood. He never had a Joker to face, because instead of Red Hood accidentally falling into the vat of chemicals that would turn him into the Joker, the Grim Knight just kills him on the spot. But his greatest villain is Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon is almost on several occasions able to outwit and capture the Grim Knight, but the Grim Knight has too much of a control on the city, as shown as even the people he protects kind of fear him, as kind of a similar to his own origins. He saves a kid from witnessing his parents being killed, and while the kid's crying, the dad says, "Stop, Roger, stop crying. This was good, we have to smile, right? The Batman is always watching. We need to say thank you." So, almost making Gotham crime-free came at a cost. The people fear Batman more than the actual criminals. Even Alfred is afraid of what Batman has become as the Grim Knight. So that's the main part, also showing the relationship between him and his version of Gordon. So story 4 out of 5. I really liked, even though it's not a necessary read to the overall plot of the Batman Who Laughs, unless the next issue says otherwise. But it's a one shot, so it's not necessary. But I did like the story, looking at the origin of the Grim Knight, and also his kind of relationship with Jim Gordon to an extent. So story 4 out of 5. Art wasn't that bad. I'll say 3.5 for the art, above average. There's 2 different art styles. You got the art style that's been used currently within the Batman Who Laughs, and then you have, with the flashback, a slightly more kind of stylized art, but it's done by the same person. So there isn't a different artist or colorist for it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. 3.5. Cover 3.5. I've seen Jock do much better covers, but this isn't a bad cover. So, yep, 3.5 for the cover, 3.5 for the art and the art and coloring, and 4 out of 5 for the story. So, a good issue. Don't really need to pick it up, but good regardless. So, Transformers #1. They've relaunched. It's the start of a new run, as they call it, a bold new era. So, Transformers, written by Brian Ruckley, art by Angel Hernandez for pages 1 to 9 and 14 to 20. I'm guessing that's the main part, because pages 10 to 13, I'm assuming, which are done by Cachette Whitman, are the Megatron and Orion Pax parts, and colors by Joanna Lafuente. Joanna, coloring by Joanna. So we start off with Bumblebee training a fellow Cybertronian, Rubble, and they encounter Windblade, who's on patrol, and they all decide to just go travel together, exploring the rest of Cybertron, while Orion Pax, who was, or as most would know him as Optimus Prime, soon to be Optimus Prime, is trying to talk sense into his friend Megatron about these rallies, these demonstrations by the Decepticons, which I'm going to assume are the predecessors to the Decepticons, since Megatron seems to be a figurehead in this movement. So Orion is trying to talk some sense into Megatron, but it doesn't seem to really work, while Bumblebee, Rubble, and Windblade report back to Brainstorm, but something has gone wrong, and that's pretty much it. It's a very kind of quickish read, quick but almost slow in a sense. So story 3.5. It lays the groundworks for two different parts of the plot. One being one involving Bumblebee, Rubble, and Windblade. Their plot, something's happened to Brainstorm. And then you have the plot of Orion Pax and Megatron. Their friendship, which will likely be torn apart because of Megatron's ideals and the whole Decepticons and all that. Now, this is what they're going with this new relaunch series. It's set before the war, so leading up to it, what will happen, what caused the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. So, but the story for this issue, 3.5, it lays the groundworks, but there is no overall kind of start to the plot. There isn't a good start to this plot. So slightly above average. I'm interested in seeing where it goes, depending on how the second issue goes, but this wasn't a fairly good, it was an above average start with issue #1. Art, I really like the art. The art is solid, so 4 out of 5 for the art. I really enjoyed it. Pretty good coloring. Coloring was definitely on point with this issue. And cover, I really like it. I really like the cover. Who did the... It doesn't say who did the cover. Oh, no, it does at the back. Who did the cover? Yes, cover by Gabriel Rodriguez and coloring by Nelson Daniels. So Rodriguez and Daniels cover, 4 out of 5. I really liked it. It's a really good cover, although I wish there was a bit more to the background of just, Megatron and Orion Pax standing there. You get the slightly like a little bit of a background, but no, I liked it anyway. So we'll see how it goes. It could have definitely been a better start, but I will hold out and check out issue #2 and see if I want to continue with it. So that's it for those two. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.